Peace family, Kanja Queen here, and in this segment we are going to get into a very controversial topic that a lot of people don't really like to talk about because there's a lot of debate about this particular topic. So the best way for us to evolve is to learn the truth. Incorrectly being labeled as Indian, right? The Native American, the indigenous people of this land, the Aboriginal, the true inhabitants that were here before the invaders came, pillaged the land, raped the women, murdered the families, and spilled so much blood on this soil. This land that we now call America, which once upon a time was known as Turtle Island, right? History has taught us that the Native Americans were all wiped out, right? Like they were all wiped out and now they just magically disappeared. And they tell us that the melanated people, the colored people, the blacks, and back then we were labeled as Negroes. They tell us that we are descendants from Africa. All of us, we're here because our ancestors were shipped here through slave ships and shackled, and that's why we're here in America. But what you don't know is that this is the history that they wrote in these history textbooks that we've read and been conditioned to accept for generations. Remember, they pillaged the land, they lied to us, they gave us the information that they wanted us to know. The true information they will not put in a textbook. The true information they will not teach us. Not in school, not in university, okay? They won't even speak about this in the mass media. Because there are powers that are in control, whether you want to label these powers the elite, the royal bloodlines, okay? These demonic families that have set out an agenda to eradicate the true memory of what the true indigenous people were and are. What they don't tell you is that they were shipping the Native Americans or the Aboriginal people of this land to Europe. Okay? What they don't tell you is that the modern day African American is really the true Taino, the true Native Americans, the true Aboriginals, okay, the indigenous people of this land. The copper-skinned, copper-toned people that they speak about are us. They fooled us into thinking that this is not our land. When you don't claim a land, it leaves it open for someone else to come and claim it. Since we have been robbed of our truth, of our true identity, we seek to find our roots in Africa. We seek to find our roots outside of our native soil, which is right beneath our very feet. This is not to be confused to say that we are not of African descent. This is not the point that we are making. History says that we all come from Africa. The Asians, the Europeans, the whites, the blacks, the yellows, the Hispanic, the Spaniards, they said we all come from Africa because the first fossil or the first actual living being, a humanoid figure, they said was found in actually Africa. But this also should be actually criticized and scrutiny because we all know that we can't really go by what they tell us in our textbook. We can't really trust the history that they give us, because as we already know, his story is really his story. Okay? The people who conquer the land, or the victors, as we should say, in any type of war or battle, are the ones who have the pen. And the pen is more mightier than the sword. Because with the pen, you can eradicate and destroy an entire generation, an entire people, as this is the case with the modern day African American. Isn't it quite strange that the term that they describe the copper tone people of this land, they've changed the subject, or rather the title that classifies us, numerous times. At first we were called Negroes, then we were called blacks and colored, Afro-American, okay? Now African American. What are they going to call us tomorrow? Okay? How many times does it have to change for them to change our label so many times? I don't see them changing other people's labels and titles. Okay? So we need to really ask ourselves, why would a people go out of their way, out of their length, to make us forget who we really are? Is it because if we all were to wake up and realize that this is our land, and that these invaders or the pilgrims back then had actually violated the treaties that our ancestors have agreed to with these people, these same people that we welcomed into our lands? We showed them how our land is. We taught them so much. We taught them about the vegetation. We taught them about the animals. We taught them about so much about the land. And then as soon as they got this information, they took it from us and they used it against us. And they robbed us from our truth. They robbed us from our knowledge. They forced our babies, our ancestors, into these schools, indoctrinating them and forcing them to digest and take in and accept these lies that have been force-fed to us for generations. They killed the ancestors off, saying that it was witch trials, in order to hide behind their true agenda, to wipe out the knowledge. The elders held the true knowledge, because a lot of our traditions were passed down orally. We didn't write down a lot of our beliefs. We didn't write down a lot of our secrets. We passed it down to our ancestors. We passed it down to our children. We passed it down to those who were either initiates or those who have went through the rites of passage. So what happens when you destroy an entire generation and you eradicate who they are? And then you make them feel crazy if they say, we are not African Americans, we are not of African descent, our people are Americans. They have these infiltrators in these quote-unquote black conscious communities that will put you into place and say, you're a coon. How dare you say that you're more? How dare you say that you're not from Africa? Africa is your motherland. America is evil. They have sent these agents inside of these communities to divide us, to confuse us, to keep us angry and hateful at each other. Africans and Americans against each other. You see, the funny thing is, the natives of this land who identify as African American, whenever they are to go to Africa, and a lot of people have expressed this, including myself personally, my personal experience, because I cannot speak for everyone else, but only those that I know, the people that I've spoken with, and as well as my first-hand experience going to the motherland known as Africa. The people in Africa are not as welcoming and accepting of Americans because they know that we are not them. We don't know this. A lot of them do not welcome us with open arms into their country. How will you feel if you have a country and a whole bunch of people from some other place decide that they want to escape their criminal history, escape whatever they're running from, and to your land? And then these are not really your people. Wouldn't you feel some type of way? Wouldn't you feel upset about that? This is actually coming from a lot of Africans. They feel like Americans are trying to run away from their problems and bring in problems to their land. Why are we so quick to leave our land, our homeland that our ancestors have spilt their blood for, who sacrificed themselves for us? And we're just going to run away to a different continent, a different land that's not technically even ours by blood? We have ancestors and spirit guides of this land who are willing and ready to work with us, to assist us, but we don't even know how to work with them. We've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten to claim our power. We've allowed another people to come and take our land from us, and we're doing nothing about it. So as they laugh at us, as we go to these meetings, these conscious community, pro-black meetings, okay, saying that, oh, we got to go to Africa, we got to leave America, America is the belly of the beast, we got to leave. That's the agenda. They want you to leave. They want this land for themselves. Can't you see that? You're falling exactly into their plan. We have to claim our identity. We have to claim our nation. We have to claim who we truly are. Never forget where you come from. Never forget who you are. Do not let your ancestors' blood be spilt for nothing. Do not let their sacrifice be for naught. Indigenous people of this land, this is your land. It is time that you take back your power. It is time that you reclaim your throne, your blood right. Stop running away from who you are. Stop allowing the enemy to fool you. Do your research. Learn who you truly are. Knowledge is power, and power shall free your mind. Don't believe what they say. Don't believe the hype. Criticize everything, for everything that you have been taught is a lie. Everything that has been written in the textbooks and the history books, the lies that your teachers told you, the lies that they fed your parents and their parents, lies on lies upon generations. We are the new generation. We come here to break the cycle. We are no longer going to submit to being slaves. We no longer keep our head low and listen and obey to what authority tells us. We are the millennials. We are the rebels. We are the ones who come here to stir things up. We will not bow down in cowardice anymore. For we are the warriors. We are the ancestors reincarnated. We are the ancestors who have come back to set the record straight, to bring back peace and harmony in my yacht back to the land. We are reclaiming our crowns and reclaiming our throne and our birthright. For Mother Earth is ready to purge off all of the viruses, the sicknesses, and the abominations of this land. And the meek shall inherit the earth. The true kings and queens shall reclaim the land that is rightfully theirs. This is what they speak about in the ancient text. We are the God that will come back and save the land. We are the saviors that they speak of in these texts, and we are the ones that they fear so greatly. So I ask you, what will you do? Will you just listen to this video and do nothing? Will you go back into your regular routine and fall back to sleep? Or will you rise up? Will you make a change? Will you spread the word? Will you teach others of the truth? Once you know, you cannot unknow. Once you wake up, you cannot go back to sleep. For to turn your back against the ancestors is a sin within itself. Honor your ancestors. Honor yourself. Never forget where you come from. Never forget who you are. Man, woman, know thyself. And that is all I have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts. Until next time, Conjure Queen, signing out. Peace.